Hey guys, so in part 6 of the social media app using Laravel, I'll be setting up the user profile section. So I'll be adding the likes and comment box here as well, and then adding a profile icon and an about me section. So if this is something you'd like to learn how to do, then watch this video. Okay, so next let's continue with adding the likes and comments functionality on the individual profile here, because right now you can't like or comment. Okay, so back in VS Code, so we just need to go into our profile show page here, over here, and then we just need to add in the likes and comment functionality that we added. So we can just copy that from the index here. So let's just see. Okay, so up to the delete. So this is the comment form. Okay, up here, and then up till the likes over here. Okay, so copy this and then paste it in our profile view, profile show, and then it's just after the end if here. Okay, and then save this, and then we have to update our controller as well. Okay, so just here in our profile controller under show, so we just need to acquire that data as well. Okay, so we just need to add in with the likes and comments. So with open it up, likes, I'll just close this for now, and comments.user. Okay, and then close that off. Okay, so what are we missing here? Okay, so just forgot another bracket here. Okay, so this is good. Okay, let's double check our application now. Okay, so I'll just refresh. So we're on the profile page here and we're able to add a comment and like. So let me just try to unlike it. Okay, and like, and then add a comment. Okay, and then I'll add a comment. So test comment from profile page. Okay, awesome. So we have our comment here. Okay, so next let's work on adding a profile icon here and then like a about us description. Just so the profile looks a lot more engaging. Okay, so back in VS Code. Okay, and before that, let's just add in the user profile link up in the menu as well. Okay, so we're gonna add it underneath the post link here. So we can just copy this and paste it underneath. Okay, and then we'll name this profile or my profile for a better description. So my profile, and then I'll link to users.show. And then we'll get that user ID. Okay, and then active request route again. So it's users.show. And I'll just delete this one here. Okay, and save that. And let's just double check our navigation now. Okay, refresh and click my profile. Awesome. So it goes to that user's profile now. Okay, so back in VS Code, let's add in our migrations for the profile icons and about us description. Okay, so you want to open up our terminal. Okay, so do PHP artisan, make migration, add profile fields to users table, and then table is equal to users. Okay, and then open this up. Now close this out. And then what we want to do here is add in the profile image. So it'll be a string profile image. Okay, it could be blank as well if they don't have a profile image, nullable. And then after email. And then this will be the about us description, well, about description. So it'll be a text about. Again, it can be blank, nullable. And then after profile description, profile image. Okay, and close this up. Oops. And then reopen up the terminal and just migrate. PHP artisan, migrate. Profile image. Okay, so save this. And then I'll just redo the migration. Clear this and rerun the command. Okay, so here in our users table, we already have the profile image column. So this comes default by Laravel. So I just didn't notice that. So we just need to add in the about us text. So go back in VS Code here and then just remove the profile image, and then we can just migrate the about text. So remove this, okay, and save that. And then I'll rerun the migration. Awesome. So now we have our about us text. So let's double check. Refresh here, and then it's over here. So it's just called about. Okay, great. So now let's continue with setting up the controllers and the routes and the views to enable profile images and the about us description. Okay, so back in VS Code here. So what we need to do is just update the model first. So go into your user's model. Okay, so we want to make this fillable. So the profile image and then the about us text, so about. So now we have authorization to edit these values. Okay, and next let's go into our profile controller. And then we can enable adding a profile image. Okay, so just over here in our update function. Okay, so first let's just modify this function here. So instead of this, let's do user is equal to request user. Okay, just forgot our variable here. Okay, and then after we can do data is equal to request validated. Okay, so now for saving the image, so if request has file, profile image, we open this up and then do path is equal to request file profile image. Okay, and then store avatars public. Okay, and save that. Okay, and then data profile image is equal to path, and then user fill data. Okay, this will transmit all the data and save. Okay, and this can be kept as is. Okay, so next let's update our validation rules. Okay, so up here in app requests, profile update requests, we just need to include the image validation now. Okay, so first let's do the about. So about is equal to nullable string. Okay, just wrap it. Max, let's say 500. Okay, and then underneath we do profile image. And then nullable image. And then the type of files to be uploaded. So JPEG, PNG, and GIF. Max resolution. Okay, and save that. Oops, and then just needed to take this bracket here and put it up here just to close off the email one. Okay, and just double check the syntax so I can remove this one here now. Okay, so this is for the email, and then this is for the ones we added, so about and profile image. Okay, so I think this is good, and then let's just link the storage now, so we can do PHP artisan storage link. Okay, so this is already done. Okay, so next let's make our profile edit view. So this is where you can add your about us details and the profile image. So over here in views, profile, and then edit. Okay, so we already got some default data here, so we can keep this as is. Okay, so let's just have a look at how this looks like now on the website. Okay, so let's go to profile. So it's over here. Okay, so we have our information, email. So let's add it here in our profile information area. Okay, so let's go in VS Code here. Okay, and then it's part of this partial here. So update profile information. So we can open that. Okay, great. So we can just add it here. So let's see. Okay, so we have name and email. So we'll add in the about us underneath. Let's see, at user, your email. Okay, so just close the terminal here, and then we can start our code underneath here. So after this email validation stuff. Okay, so we'll open up a div. Okay, and then we'll give this X input label. Okay, and then just open this up. For profile image, value is equal to __ profile picture. Okay, and then close this out. And then next we can do a div with a class of flex, item center, gap 4, margin top of 2. Okay, and then we'll show the image if you have one already. So image src is equal to user profile image asset storage dot user profile image. Else use a default image avatar. So image default avatar.png. So we can add that in later. Okay, let's go down one and give it a class of width 20, height of 20, rounded, full, object cover, shadow, and then the alt tag. So okay, and then underneath that we can add in our input. So input type is equal to file, and then I'll just add in the ID. So ID is equal to profile image Okay, and then accept all images. So we do this similar to our posts. Okay, and then class is equal to border rounded padding of 2 with full. Okay, and then just close that off. Okay, so next let's do our about us text box. So div again. So add in the label. So X input label for about. Value is equal to __ about me. Okay, close that off. And then text area, name about, ID is about, row of 5. Okay, and then we'll give it a class of margin top 1, block, width full, border, rounded, padding of 2. Okay, and I'll just break it down and we'll add a placeholder. Okay, and then it'll just be tell me about yourself. Okay, and then if they already have data in here, we'll add in that data. So open this up, and then it'll be old about us data, about user, about. So users can edit their data as well. Okay, and then just forget the bracket. Okay, and save that. Okay, and then if there's any errors, we'll just add in a label for that. So X input error, class margin top of 2, and then this will just be like message for any errors equal to errors get about. Okay, and we'll just copy this for the image as well. Okay, so just underneath this div, just change this into profile image. And then we just need to add in another bracket here. Okay, just to close off the quotes. Okay, and save that. And I think this is good. So, okay, next let's just double check our application. Okay, so great. So we have our profile image and the about us section. So let's try to fill this out. So I'll just add in a profile image. This undefined variable path, let's just fix that. Okay, so let's just see if we can remove the path call function. Okay, so back in our VS Code. So I'll just remove this and save that. And let's try again and see if that works. Okay, so save. Okay, so I'll double check our database here and see if we have our profile image now. Okay, I'll refresh. Okay, so let's check our about us text. The image doesn't seem to be showing first. Okay, so I'll just add in my name is Sean. Save. Okay, so this shows save, but it's just with the image. So let's check the database that our about were. Okay, so the about is showing now, but it's just with the profile image. So let's see why that's not processing to the database. Okay, so back here in VS Code, let's just change this from path to data. Since now we're keeping it all in one array, and let's see if this works now. So we're calling it here after in one payload. Okay, so just forgot to add in the name in the input, so that's why it's not recognizing it. So that's important. So just do name is equal to profile image, Make sure the spelling is correct as well. Okay, and let's check again. Refresh and try to save now. Okay, so now we're seeing in the errors here. So the profile image must be an image. Okay, so I think the error is with the form because we didn't enable the ability to upload images. So in our partials, update profile information, just here in the form, the actual form here, we need to add enc type, multi-part form data. Okay, so we can just add it here to the end. So enc type is equal to multi-form, multi-part, and then form data. Okay, and save that. Okay, and then just close off the class here as well. Okay, and this should be good. And now let's try again. Okay, I'll refresh and then choose an image, save. Okay, so now we have this error. So let's see what happened. Okay, so we just need to fix our controller again. So here in our profile controller. Okay, so we'll just add in the data right away. So it will be as a string, so profile image. Okay, so I think this should work. So let's try it again. Okay, and save. Awesome. So our profile image is here now. Okay, so lastly, let's just add this data to our profile page, and I think we should be good for this video. Okay, so back in VS Code. Now in our show profile view. Okay, so I'll just add it in here for now, and then we'll just clean up the styling in a future video. Okay, so I'll just do image, and then src is user profile image. Then we'll take their image, asset storage, dot user profile image. Okay, else I'll just add in a default image. So it'll be image default avatar. Okay, and then just break that down here and then give it a class of width 32, height of 32, rounded, full, object cover, and shadow. And give it a little bit of margin bottom as well. Give margin bottom of 2. Okay, and just forgot the slash here. Okay, and save that. Okay, and just double check our website. Awesome, so it's showing up there. So now let's just add in the about us section underneath before the post. Okay, so I'll just add it in here. Okay, so this will just be section, class of margin bottom, 10, and give it a h2 class text XL, font semi-bold, margin bottom 2, about me. And then underneath that, we'll open up a div, class of p rows, max w none. Okay, and then just add in the about data. User about data. Okay, so this is good. Let's double check our website now. Great, awesome. So we have our sections here. So the profile, the about section. Okay, and then in the next video, I'll add in like followers and following. So you're able to view posts only for users that you follow, and people that follow you can have a feed of users that they follow. So you can add like a feed of those you're following. So this includes part 6 of the social media app using Laravel. So if you'd like to follow along with this series, then you can like and subscribe to stay up to date on my latest videos. And if you're looking for help with your Laravel project or any web design project, then you can contact me at maplitmedia.ca. And thanks for watching.